decisions. I'm just happy God today.
Brian Hall in the booth. Brian, what's going on, my man?
Oh, nothing too much, guys. I actually was sitting right behind you all last night at the game, but I just never made my way down there, and it was not not on purpose. It was more just I got busy with my buddies and then forgot to get down there, and by the time I looked down, y'all were on the way to the post.
To hang out with us.
50 points like that.
That's fair, man. That's fair. Look, here's the thing. I did learn something last night about myself and about this station. Well, not this station. We simulcasted the post-game show last night, right? You know me.
Listen closely, people.
I don't like Kentucky. Okay? Don't really like them. Really don't have anything positive to say about them, to be honest with you. I got nothing. I mean, I don't know. I could search my brain for a while.
What was your language quote yesterday that went viral? There's Spanish.
French, a Kentucky fan.
But that was pretty funny. Where'd you get that from, Steve?
Just right off the top of my head. That's how much I dislike them.
That was funny.
So last night, post-game show, you know me, I can't help myself. I start to talk about, we're talking about Vermont. I kind of make a little bit of a comment about the fouls in Allen Fieldhouse are rough. Said it's probably the only place worse than Rupp Arena. Brian, phone call. Get a phone call.
And Brian, this is funny. Like, I really need you to listen because this is, keep in mind, people, this is one chair Steve that we're talking about last night. We're not talking about Steve that kind of gets to sit over and kind of like drop his bombs and scatter back behind enemy lines. He got the one chair, people. So he is forced to take this call and take this call head on.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, actually, I don't even get to hear it all because I have my headphone off, and I'm talking to someone trying to get some things together, and then Mark's like, hey, man, he's talking to you. I'm like, oh, okay, he's asking a question. And I put my headphones back on, and I hear he's like, Rabbit, you are an idiot. You're really an idiot. Now, remember, we're simulcasting, okay? So this is the 680 crowd. You're an idiot. You say, foul cast, y'all shot 90 free throws. 90 free throws. In the game last night, or in this game tonight, and you talking about Rupp Arena being dirty, Rupp Arena Allen Fieldhouse being dirty. I'm like, what are we doing here? So anyways, point is, I'm like, dude, okay, I explained myself. Listen, I'm talking, anytime you play an inferior team, you're going to shoot a ton more free throws. That's just a fact. I thought Louisville did a good job actually getting fouled last night and taking it to them. I'm talking about the games in Rupp where it's like clockwork.
Where they're losing by 6.
They're losing by 6, and it's like, here we go. Beep. Beep. Or Kentucky can't hit any threes, so their top shooters go to the free throw line 4 or 5 times in a close game.
Now they're hot.
Now all of a sudden they can't miss. Yeah, I know it's clockwork. I saw this happen. So obviously I'm thinking, okay, I think I called the guy an idiot. I don't know. I'm sorry. He's probably not an idiot.
That's awesome.
But here's the deal.
It did kind of bother you a little bit to get into it, though.
Well, because it goes back to, I kind of forgot we were on 682, and I'm kind of like, why are you?
But just be you.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you listening?
Just let us celebrate our 50-point victory.
It's a little post-game show. Like, what? Go to bed. God.
I thought you did a great show.
So,
anyways,
it sounded good. I listened.
We did. A lot of people enjoyed us. So, thank you. Yeah, we had a good time. Steve. Well, that's a limited time only. So we like to. Here you go. And now we got like Mark Ennis likes to say, the bench here is great. Yeah. So we like to open that up.
We brought in the B team.
Yeah, we like to open it up. We are the B team in the post game. No. So. Here's the thing.
Gotta watch that. You gonna hurt some feelings around here.
No. I didn't say it.
Talking about B team.
So here's the deal. I go home, Brian.
A team, damn it.
This is where I learned I need to keep my butt right here with my family on 93.9 The Ville. I go home, Brian.
Oh no.
My Facebook Messenger is the guy who called in. Telling me,
oh no,
calling me names. It wasn't. I mean, it's some
wasn't brutal, but
it wasn't brutal. But it was enough just to basically, you suck. You suck. You like Louisville. Whatever. You got all your teeth. Well, okay, cool. Yeah, I know I'm horrible. So then he gives me He sends me a friend request.
Brian, what do you do at that moment? Do you accept the friend request or not?
I no. I just wouldn't waste my time.
Why did you think about it?
I said
I don't know.
that's when
I thought about being like, hey, I'm gonna friend him, and then I'm just gonna like let him do his thing and have a conversation.
That's when I decided, Brian, at that moment, I think my days on ESPN 680 are over.
Steve, don't say that.
You
You have to get through those things.
Was it Steve from the county?
Listen, this guy took the time. I want you to think about this. To call in the postgame show, tell me I was an idiot.
Steve, that comes with the territory.
Facebook message me, send me a friend request, all because I said, you get a lot of good calls at Rupp Arena. What if I said some of the things I say on here on one of those shows? And I don't need Bill Jim waiting out back for me.
Bill Jim.
I don't know what they name themselves. I don't need Billy Ray when I walk outside.
Valentine.
You see, Roman? Oh, God. That's my nightmare. That's my nightmare. A pair of overalls and a mullet waiting on me going, Roman!
You're gonna pay, buddy.
That's my nightmare. I make fun of them because I think they terrify me.
It's a defense mechanism.
It's a defense mechanism. And I don't need the issue I had last night.
They do have a reputation of doing this.
Listen,
I can't help myself. It's like a
Just ask
sickness.
John Higgins.
we started the show with you cleaning your plate. Just
Feel better
I was gonna say get that all off your chest and everything. So how do we reset the show? Because here's the thing: the basketball is the basketball.
It is.
There are so many stories that came out of the actual basketball that almost have nothing to do with basketball.
Yeah.
One of them. Great moment from last night. 8150 939 is the number. 3831 939 is the text line. A great moment in U of L basketball history last night. We had an NIT moment. Whoever is Lottie Stockwell, if this was your idea to bring the football team out last night, great job, great idea, whoever's behind that.
I think I kind of have a crush on her.
That works.
Am I allowed to say that on air?
No, Steven.
We'll talk about that
Your
after.
crushes to yourself.
I'm sorry.
But you get the point. That was a great job bringing them out. Just
Yeah,
that
it was
that
cool.
A feel-good acknowledgement moment. We're still behind you, fellas. We still need you to lock in. We need you to know that there are 15,000 in here right now who are like dying to see you back on the field.
And give yourself a hand for showing. I mean, the crowd was awesome. The crowd realized these guys are out here, standing ovation. We're with you.
Yes, listen.
Yes.
Where else do you get a 2-8 football team standing ovation?
It was awesome. It really was awesome.
Where do you get a football team with a 2-8? I think that's what their record is. I'm not positive. Something like that.
Two
and whatever record get a standing ovation. You know what I'm saying? Most places you're gonna get booed off the court.
Yeah, man. And those guys, you could tell it meant a lot to those guys.
We saw that Twitter release. We saw that video.
We did.
For those of you who don't know, they released a video yesterday.
Yeah.
Of a moment of practice of about 6 minutes of practice.
Yep.
I'm telling you, we're talking about those old drills.
Awesome.
Those drills that are basically outlawed nowadays. One-on-one competition, bull in the ring style competition.
Awesome.
Wide receivers going at cornerbacks, linemen going at other linemen. The teams crowded around. It was unbridled enthusiasm in that. So do yourself a favor, find that video, check it out for yourself. Good energy. Another story, Steve, that we're going to have to address that started from the basketball but came outside of the basketball. Last things first. Chris Mack just shut down the locker room. As media, we're supposed to go on strike now. As media, we're supposed to, have a march, a million media march about how our rights have been taken away from the locker room. Now, listen. Full 100% Marcus Maben disclosure. It's a nightmare for me to have a flashback of coming out of my shower and having my towel, and Steve Rummage and Andy Sweeney and Brian Hall are sitting around holding microphones in front of my face. Right? Lachlan, Drew, Rummage, and Brian Hall sitting around holding microphones around me, my little naked body in the locker room. I don't like that. I never did like that, right? So if you tell me that you're gonna close these locker rooms down while my players, take a shower, get dressed, decompress, I'm all for it, right? But the media side for me is supposed to fight this, but I can't. I can't get that post-traumatic stress disorder of coming out of the shower and a bunch of strangers, like, not that they're looking at me because they're all professional, I get it, right? But it's just like, can't we get some kind of barrier between this most intimate moment after a hard-fought win or a hard-fought loss? Like, can I get a moment, right?
I mean, I'm letting you go because I know how I feel about it.
Okay, media-wise, you have less access than you had at another point. Like, to me, I can't fight that fight.
Okay, and now I'll give my disclaimer. I understand that there's a lot of people in the media that they have a job to do, and I can totally respect that. So where I'm coming from is just my point of view.
Is it the fan and how you receive coverage?
Both. Fan, how I receive coverage. What I do for a living is opinionated radio.
So you don't look to make news.
Yeah. I absolutely love it.
From the Coach Mac point
From
of view?
Coach Mac's point of view. But I'm always iffy about locker room stuff anyways. I've never been one to really think that these need to come from the locker room. Now, here's the deal. I understand the media side that says, well, that kind of gives the team personality. But how many people outside of LJ the Fiasco, who I actually really enjoy his
one-on-ones,
because it's that does, I feel like, give the team personality. Outside of him, who's going in there trying to get to know Darius better?
Right.
Because let's be real. I think the majority of the anger right now is coming from one thing. Chris Mack is not letting you guys talk to VJ King.
You think that's what this is all about?
I think it has a big part of it. But this is something
speculation.
This is something Mack didn't do at Xavier. Let's not act like either. Majority of schools do not let you in the locker room.
The majority?
Louisville was one of the few that still did. And the reason they did, I'm going to steal your point again, and I talked to it with Perrin. This was Marcus's idea, and Perrin backed it up. Rick Pitino did, but Rick Pitino would tell these guys, I will kill you if you say anything stupid to these people. And Perrin backed it up with Perrin said Rick Pitino would tell him, you give the other team credit. You say we played bad. That's it.
We're gonna
get better. Keep your mouth shut. Chris Mack is not one that likes, because in reality, now a media standpoint, I get where this can be a good thing, but in reality, can anything uber positive really come from the locker room other than maybe you get some jokes
that you can't set up through Kenny Klein?
That you couldn't.
If you wanted to do a piece on Darius Perry,
right?
You schedule one. You get a 15-minute availability after practice. Hey, Kenny, I want to get to know, Joe Griffin, right? I want to talk to Darius Perry about how difficult is it to be an academic All-American while simultaneously fighting to keep a point guard spot.
Yeah.
How many just feel good? The camaraderie in the locker room was awesome. Like, how many stories do you get out of the locker room talking about how focused everybody is?
I don't feel like you do. Look, I feel like that in this scenario, I mean, there's just nothing can really come out of this other than just I don't get why anyone and this is what I'm saying. I understand why a media person would want to go in there.
Right.
What I don't understand is why a media person does not understand why a fan or someone who supports the school is saying, I really don't care if y'all go in there.
Or a coach. You should agree with a coach.
You should absolutely agree with the coach.
Listen, I'm telling you, if you turn loose Steve Rummage in a Kentucky locker room, like, think about this, people. Take Steve's energy.
Yeah.
Right? Steve likes Louisville. Now take Steve's energy and picture somebody who you know that doesn't like Louisville, and then turn them loose in the locker room of an opponent. Send Steve to Kentucky. What are you going to be looking for in the Kentucky locker room?
Well, I brought it up. The one thing, and I say I never say anything positive about Kentucky. I mean, this isn't positive, but that's one of the things I never disagreed with Cal with. Because when y'all did get up in the locker room in the NCAA tournament, pictures of Gucci bags started coming out.
Yep.
It wasn't, man, this Kentucky team, man, they really rallying around each other. And I'll tell you what, De'Aaron Fox has a great attitude and all this. It was a picture of a Gucci bag. I don't need y'all in there taking pictures of my players' Gucci bags. Because you know what? Believe it or not, maybe he just bought it. Maybe an agent gave it to him. Regardless.
Maybe his uncle gave it to him.
That's my thing. Maybe Adidas gave money to his uncle.
Right.
And bought it. Like, I mean, I'm being serious.
Right.
Like, need y'all in there around that.
But that's a story. Like, you can make your own story with that picture of that Gucci bag. That's why I told you, Steve, the danger of memes. The danger of memes. One picture and you make your own story. You make your own caption. You make your own context, right?
Yeah.
Your 7-second clip. The way when De'Aaron missed this shot, be like ...
Yeah.
Like, no. Hey, coach. Hey, the locker room's open. Great. This is awesome. This coach keeps the locker room open. Coach, I'm gonna close that locker room down. I haven't built enough, relationship right now with my kids to have them just going out to the media. We all don't have the same message yet. I want to keep. Right now, I can't have kids talking to the media, sending out different messages. That stuff takes time. My culture takes time. Right now, I'm gonna close these doors.
Right, and he don't have the relationship with the media. You want to know what Chris Mack knows about Louisville media in season? Was he pulled VJ King out of the locker room last week and they threw a hissy fit. So he said, this is my opinion.
His first experience.
My opinion is he said, well, how about this? All you stay out of my locker room and I'm going to send you 3. And he sent you Jordan Mora, who didn't start, who I think that's a big story.
Controversial story, if you want to make it.
He sent you Malik Williams, who he called out in the red-white game, who's now playing very well.
And could be a controversial story. Go ahead and ask Malik Williams, do you think you should be starting now?
Yes.
Right? Do you think they should put you and Stephen Enoch in the game together?
Right.
Like, listen, if you do some work.
Yeah.
Do some work. Take these 3 guys, do some work. Okoye Gal. Who do you think should be starting, Malik Williams or Stephen Enoch?
Well, I think he sent Okoye as a reward because I thought Okoye played well last night.
Right, but you get my point. Like, like if you're covering the sport, you can dig into. He sent you a fair representation of the game tonight.
I thought so. Yeah, I didn't think he sent you the Christian Cunningham and Quan Ford, just something like
the adults.
Okay, there's nothing here you're gonna get.
The vanilla adults.
He sent you enough, and they set
to cover Louisville basketball
that you could get great stories, but you didn't get. And that's where I go back to. You just didn't get VJ.
Bill Edscorns and Sons Collision Center phone line gives us Clay. Clay, thanks for joining us on 93.9, my man. What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
I know you all don't talk about recruiting heavily, but I want to talk about like a narrative that goes on around Louisville. Like I know Josh Nickelberry got dinged a lot when he was asked to change positions a little bit by his coach, and then he goes and after he was signed. I think Marcus, you talked about it. He didn't really have anything to prove since he was signed, but now he goes a few days ago and scored 75 in the game, and nobody's talking about it. But another thing too, though, about the game, I think Loyal Lawrence, who calls in, he the last game in the pregame, I think he said he wanted to see somebody dunk on somebody like Donovan Mitchell, and I think last night it proved our toughness with Jordan Ward and Steven Enoch getting some nasty slams. And I just wanted to know what y'all thought about that.
Oh, listen, I appreciate the call. See, here's the thing. You want to get into the game part of that, which we're going to do. And let me shout out to Lawrence. He came by and hollered at us last night. Yep. It was good to see him. Good loyal. I can't believe he. So now you hang out with us, Lawrence. You're too good to call in.
I know. Yeah, man. Lawrence come up, said, "What's up, man?" We talked to him for a little bit. Good dude, man.
But we can do that. Like I said, I believe that we covered both our feelings on the. I can see where you can come from media not enjoying restricted access because, I mean, listen, people behind the curtains, content is content. Being able to get in the locker room and talk to everybody after every game. That kind of access, it's easy to do a radio show if you get to talk to everybody in the locker room.
Yeah, but how many times have we used player sound?
We don't. What I'm saying is content is content. It's like
what, a post-game show?
Or a radio show. Like me
I just don't think you get anything like that.
See, my point is you can.
If it's something negative and a huge story.
That's my point. Like if you want to create a narrative or create a story, you can do that by talking to everybody. If you talk to 8 guys, if you go in there and you have open access, you're going to get 3 stories that have nothing to do really with the basketball court. If you're hunting, this person about this other person when asked.
But do you get that very often?
Not here. Point being, Clay, to what you were talking about, here's the thing. Now let's talk some basketball, people. 8150-939 is the number. 3831-939 is the text line. Texter says is support Coach Mack's decision. Now, and that's, to me, that's not support of Coach Mack. Mine is coming from just support of players having their locker room to themselves a little bit. Like I'm okay.
And let's not do the elephant in the room. Let's not do the elephant in the room. Everybody pissed and moaned about Tom Jurich, and it took 2 games of Chris Mack. 2 games. You're like, well, man, let me talk to guys. Vince is going to do it to you. It's going to take Vince. It's my job to protect the university. Now, I know there was a lot of extra going on the other round.
Yeah, don't say protect. Say look out for the best interests of the university.
Took 2 games.
Texas says, get him, Steve.
I mean, but it ain't about getting them. I mean, I appreciate it, but I mean, it took 2 games, man.
And Mac knew it.
I know.
He knew it was coming.
And you get immediately into man, they're shutting us out. Because that was the big thing. A lot of people say Tom controlled the media, which to an extent, the more I got into this side of things, I remember being like, oh, that's crazy. You know, there's no control of the media, all that stuff. As a fan, the more I got into this, I was like, I see where some things are, you told, hey, you don't say this, you say this. Like, but it took
everybody is protecting their best interests.
Right.
The media is protecting their right to gain access. The coaches want to protect the psyche of their players, right? Because listen, right now, everybody has watched VJ King. To your point, everybody's watched VJ King and said, I don't know, it's almost there, you know, we're just trying to get him right there, right? What's the one thing that could derail a VJ King who almost is right there? Some talk about about his name being mentioned.
That is eligibility or something.
He does not need that in his life. And like I said, maybe I am way too player-centric mentality. Maybe I haven't crossed over to complete media member. Like I said, maybe my relation, like maybe the fact that I can go over to practice and talk to him anytime, you know, like maybe I am numb. Maybe I'm a little bit numb.
Sure, and that's why I say I'm not arguing or putting down anyone who is against that.
Right.
Because I understand you have a job to do.
Like night before last, I'm sitting around texting, you know, back and forth with Sean Marion about NBA stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just insider conversation. And it's like, the stuff he's saying is news, but I would never make it news.
Right.
You know, so like I said, maybe this is, you know, maybe this is a flaw of mine that I'll get better at, you know, over time. Clay.
Sure.
Clay wanted to talk about somebody getting dunked on. Now, Clay, I'm not gonna jump off the cliff with the athleticism on display last night. I will agree with you. It was good to see a couple of dunks, right? And then right when I start saying that, I can hear it. Oh, Marcus, the team is Southern. It suck. You have to learn that you're stronger than what you think. You have to learn that when you make this move, it's going to be open. You have to throw an alley-oop over and over again. You have to learn to trust each other. Coach Mack told you in last press conference, I remember it clear as day. He says, we tried to feed it to the post a couple times, but the guys weren't really catching the ball. It's hard to trust the big man when you throw him the ball and he doesn't catch it, and it ends up in a turnover. That's a speech I've given to everybody 1,000 times. Marcus Maben, the player, if he threw the ball to the post and you let that guy jump around you and steal that ball, good luck.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry to all my big men. Listen, Dion, Alex, Tobiah, Damian, if y'all are in the post and you let Kenyon Martin run around and steal that ball and I got the turnover for it,
I mean, dang, man, that's a little, I mean, like.
I don't care, Steve.
Kenyon Martin?
What do you mean? It's just another player.
Yeah.
I loved
Why, yeah, me too. Like, why would you go there? Like, hey, you let Shaq get around you and get the ball, you're done. You're never touching the ball again.
I was just looking for an excuse.
God almighty.
I was looking for an excuse not to feed the post. I was like, you can't score on Kenyon Martin. That's it. I'm shooting. Give me the ball. But point being, Steve, you were sitting beside me. Steven Enoch gets the ball in the post, turns around. We got the floor seat view on that one. How about that, Steve? Can you just remind everybody how good it is to sit down there?
Oh, yeah. It's
Steven Enoch turns around, dunks this ball with good authority. I still haven't watched it from the television, people. So I don't got the full, vibe of what it looked like on TV just yet, but I will tonight. He turns around, people, dunks that ball.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah. That's a good move, too.
I immediately look over, people, and this is what I want you to do. At some point today, when you're thinking about what you saw kind of out of Malik and what you saw out of Enoch and a little bit of what you saw out of VJ King, this is what I want you to do. I want you to just raise your glass, almost like one of those toasts across the room. Say, this one's for Pegues.
Yeah. It's a fact.
This one's for Pegues.
Yep.
Everything you see, we can directly correlate it to one of these coaches. If you want to call in today and compliment the defensive intensity you saw, the prolonged defensive, raise your glass for Dino Gaudio. Because he worked over there all game long. The ball was not even in play. Dino Gaudio, get in your stance, get in your stance, get in your stance. Right?
Yeah, he did.
Actively keeping them in their stance, right? Pegues, every post move that didn't work or did work defensively, offensively, he's the guy that's working them. He's the toughness coach, right? Well, I guess he's the swaggier coach, you know?
Yeah.
It's cliche to make Boogie East the swagger coach, but you get the point.
Right.
Coach Mack, the referee worker.
He's good too, man.
He was, and he's I bet these referees are not gonna like Chris Mack.
Well, my favorite thing about Chris Mack last night was you ever watch The Office?
Yeah, off and on.
Okay. Have you ever saw the clip where, Toby comes back and Steve Carell's like, no, God, no. And Jordan Wara has a play. And I thought Jordan played good last night. But Jordan has a play. He doesn't get back. Long story short, he doesn't get back. He picks up the guy. Malik takes his guy. Jordan says, stops, and it's kind of like, yeah, that's my guy.
Right.
Which I think Jordan knew he was wrong. Instead of going back.
I told you that on the court. I said, watch when he gets to the sideline. Watch who Mac is talking to. And what did you see? Jordan was explaining himself for about 30 seconds to that timeout.
Well, point guard makes the pass, of course, because there's a wide open big man now underneath the basket. Big man dunks it. Chris Mack immediately looks at the ref, calls a timeout, starts walking. He's like, no. He's not talking to anybody.
Right.
He's just saying, no. He just said it over and over again.
Yes.
And it was like, I was like, oh, this is awesome.
This is awesome.
Oh, this is awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
He was in his full element. Like if anybody remembers, there's the layup they got in the second half right under the basket. Go ISO cam, Chris Mack. You can see him in action.
Yeah.
Like you can see him when he's getting the calls. He's on the refs up close, and he's talking. Watch that mouth, coach.
Hey, he got in him a little bit last night.
Don't put a ISO. What it was it the microphone?
No.
He'll never be the guy to wear a microphone. Alex, thanks for joining us on Midday with Marcus Maven. What's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, guys? I just want to comment on the game. Man, I was watching the game last night while I was at work, and I was shocked at how, like, I could hear a coach yelling, but I didn't know who it was. So I'm glad you guys told me. Like, I don't know if they added new microphones or whatever because it's like they're preparing for the ACC network or whatever. But man, I could hear coaches screaming and yelling, "Get down on your stance! Watch backside!" And I'm like, who is this? Like, is this another person talking? Like, so I'm glad you guys clarified that. That's good to know that that the coaches are in there like that. But I want to say, Marcus, Steve, I think y'all been talking to Coach Mack, because the number one thing that I've always had a problem with, and that you've always discussed, is that going to the rim, and really you don't have to dunk it, and so we've always had players that just laid it up instead of dunking it.
Right.
But there were a couple of times, Malik Williams did it. He had his hand turned over to lay it up, and when he got that foul, he just turned his hand over and slammed it down real quick, and I was like, that's what I like to see.
It was baby steps.
Exactly, yeah, like finishing like that. I think Jordan Wara had the same thing. When he got that foul, he went up, and I thought he was going to lay it up because he had his hand turned over, but then he jammed it down. I can't lie, I was proud of being able to see that progression. I'm gonna make a bold statement right now. I think, and this is not off of nothing. This is just off of how I feel. I think if we, Louisville, we get Tennessee. I think Louisville beats Tennessee. But if we play Kansas, that Kansas team is amazing. Like, I'm going to be honest. I think Louisville beats Tennessee. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
I don't.
The way Chris Mack has turned this team around in just 10 days, and then we have and then watching that Vermont team play against Tennessee, if we can beat Vermont, keep it double digits the whole game. I don't know if we can. I'm just saying if we do, then I think Louisville can go 2 or 3 days after that, and I think, or 5 days, whatever. Whenever we play Tennessee, I think it's that Friday,
right?
The 21st. I think we beat Tennessee. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think we do, because Ryan McMahon is due for a game, and Ryan McMahon is due for a hot game, and I really feel like that'll be his game. And BJ King as well. I mean, BJ King was getting heated up towards the end of the game, so we still aren't running on all cylinders right now.
No,
so I think
long way to go.
I think Matt can bring it in by the Tennessee game, but I'll listen to you guys. Thank you.
Alex, I appreciate the call.
You know how you know that I'm the optimist guy, and I will say this. And I don't mean this in a bad way towards this team. So I think this team does show me some things that says, hey, if they get this here, they get this here. I don't personally think they're going to beat Tennessee.
Right.
I really don't. I think they can get it together and guard well enough Friday, and I will be impressed if they win Friday. And not win, but if they look good and win. I really will. That Tennessee game, I don't think they can win, but I will say this. I think they can win, but I don't expect them to win. If they do beat Tennessee, I will be this isn't hyperbole. I like to joke around sometimes, say about booking hotels in the Final Four and all that. I will change expectations a touch, though.
Speaking of booking hotels, people, you should hang out with Steve and I at Al J's in the Galt House. Before shows, after shows. And I decided to just go ahead and stay down there. People, you have a gem of a hotel right under your nose, and you've looked for others and forgot how awesome the Galt House is Disneyland.
Yeah.
It has everything. I stayed there. I woke up looking at downtown, looking at the Yum Center. It's a beautiful morning. Like, that's how I felt.
I know.
Even my bed was nice and firm and plush. And I felt like I got a massage last night. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome.
Hey, look, I've already got a reservation Friday at Jeff Ruby's for after the game. I think I'm going to stay around myself.
Just hang around. Back to the game, though. Alex, Malik did dunk the ball. He laid it up a couple times. Steve listened to me complain about the layups, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would still like to see the extra step and the strong-handed play. You know, the look for the contact, look for the and one, not just looking to get the ball in the bucket as quick as possible.
Yeah.
That takes time. That takes coaching. That takes a little extra. What's important is the physicality.
Right.
Their physicality, okay, put it this way. They can be physical, but they haven't learned to be physical and execute at their highest level. That's why I think they're going to have a tough time against Tennessee. Tennessee is used to playing physical and executing because they got everybody back from last year, and that's their style of play. I talked about it last night a bit on the post-game show. If you watched the game, you saw the fouls, right? Record number of fouls, but it was a physical game both ways. The fans were booing when listen, think about this. The Louisville fans were booing when they called foul on Southern on some plays.
Yeah.
Our fans were angry at the ref for calling fouls against Southern.
Right.
You're just calling too many fouls. And the real loser out of all that was Coach Mack. If you heard this last night, then you can just hang with me. But I will say this. Chris Mack has spent the last 3 days since last game preaching physicality. I guarantee it. 100% guarantee it. Now, when I do that and send my team out there to exercise this physical basketball, and you call every piece of contact humanly possible, you just basically undone everything I've been teaching. This is what I'm coaching them to do. This is physical, move your hips, find the body, get some contact, like all that. This is what I've been teaching. Now, when I go play Vermont, my players think all this is a foul, because you blew the whistle every second. Now they're going to be down 10-2 before they realize I got to go back to the physical stuff again.
Yeah.
Chris Mack, I thought after the game, Steve kind of expected a surly Chris Mack. I thought Chris Mack probably went to that locker room and apologized. I couldn't protect you guys from those refs tonight. I taught, I preached physicality. You did exactly what I wanted you to do. You played more physical, and they punished you over and over and over again.
Well, and I was wrong. He wasn't surly at all. He was very. He sounded like he was pleased. Of course, a coach is never pleased all the way,
right?
Because again, I said on the postgame show last night, and I agree. I'll double down on it today. You're looking at December 5th against Central Arkansas before you have another quote unquote give me game,
which is the number one comeback to Southern Miss. Not that good.
Or Southern last night. Yeah,
I said Southern Miss. Sorry, Southern.
Right. But yeah, I mean, no, the Louisville schedule will not be an issue for Louisville. Like I don't care what Southern's ranking is or whatever. I mean, Louisville. Do you realize Louisville plays 7 of the current top 10, 4 of the current top 5, maybe 5 if they beat Tennessee. If they beat Tennessee, they'll play the entire top 5.
Nobody, don't ever apologize for beating up Southern, for scoring 100 points on Southern.
Right.
Don't ever apologize for anything like that.
Heck no.
When you have the number 1 schedule in the nation, give or take,
it's gonna be top 5. I mean, you're gonna have one of the 5 hardest schedules without question.
And nothing else depends on you. Like, it's gonna be top 5 depending on what these other teams do, but whether it's 1 or 5. So, if that's the argument you have. If you see improvement, here's the thing. Go back to the dunks, because it means something. When was the last time you saw a Louisville team, just other than Ray Spalding having 6 dunks in the game? When was the last time you saw transition one-leg alley-oop dunks?
See, that's what I was going to say. And we're not just talking dunks. We're not just talking,
attitude.
There's a little bit of a scrum, and you kind of get it. You're the guy. Or even Southern's dunk last night. Jordan Moore kind of makes a wrong move. It got wide open. He catches it. He hammered it. I mean, give him his props. Like, he was boom.
People, we are on YouTube right now. We are made for the Ville. You don't want to miss. You don't ever want to miss when Steve is showing you when the guy's hammering. He's like, he put some stink on it.
Yeah. So it was like, all right, cool. But it was Jordan Wara twice off of steals. One of them I went back and watched. I kind of gave him credit for last night that I think Ryan had more to do with.
Knocking it loose.
Yeah, the other one, though, Jordan just picked the guy, takes it. And ones. You saw Malik and one. You saw Enoch off a post move. You saw 2 alley-oops. Maybe 3. Wara caught one. No,
Wara caught one. VJ caught one.
But the point is, I mean, you saw.
There's about 7.
Yeah.
Attitude dunks.
Yeah, I feel like you saw dunks that were going at the rim. It wasn't just that.
Dwayne Sutton tried. He didn't have a spring on that one.
But I mean,
he was attacking the dunk.
But I mean, it has been a while. I mean,
right?
Yeah, it has been a while.
Listen, people, I've been complaining about the transition one-leg easy dunk, right?
Yeah, I didn't know it was that time already. Wow. So it is. I look down. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's what happens when you got a show like this with Steve.
I didn't mean to cut you off there.
We're rolling along. You know what? I'll save that point because I'm going to dive deep into what happens next. Oh my God, in the sports world of Louisville. Nate Davis with Marcus Maben, 8150. 93.9 is the number on 93.9 The Ville.
For bringing by Witch to the ESPN Louisville studios. 2 great locations, Old Brownsboro Crossing or 221 South Hurstbourne Parkway. Try the ESPN special. You guys know it. It's a large Witch for just $6.80. That's good 7 days a week. Pick up something for the family, cater for the office, or tailgate. Order online today at witchwitch.com or download their new app, Witch Superior Sandwiches.
8150-939 is the number. 3831-939 is the text line. Want to kind of reset the show. We talked about the basketball game last night, what took place on the court, what conversations came out after the game, or kind of side tributary stories. One of the great moments of the night, if I were to list my highlights of the night, number one would probably be the ovation that the Yum Center crowd gave to the football players who were brought out after the first time out. It was awesome. It was a good feeling. Again, you made reference to the NIT, like this is our NIT moment. Yes, things are going bad. Now it's time to pick ourselves up, rally. Like that was when you think that you don't have the support and find out that your Twitter and Instagram, the negativity that you were reading was not what it really is. The moment you come out on the court as listen, Jalen Smith is out there. Who else was out there?
Lucius McNeil, D. Smith, and PJ and Banasaur.
People who have taken a ton of heat.
Why do I remember that? I need a life, dude. No, I need a life, dude. That was a reevaluate moment right there.
You were impressed with yourself and your recollection of who was out there.
Yeah, I mean, I relived that moment. Like I blacked out for a second, and I was back in the seat, and I was like, oh, there they are.
Point being,
maybe I'm a genius.
Maybe you're Rain Man. Point being,
let it rain.
No, that's not. No, is that what you thought?
What? Rain Man. I don't say that when I shoot.
Wait a minute. You talk about just having them people. Oh my God, you're on TV.
Raindrops. Right? I got good form, bro. Raindrops.
People, tune in to We Are Made for the Ville on the YouTube channel. Click that subscribe button so you can look at Steve and you can listen. It automatically records people, so you can go back and watch these shows.
No,
anytime.
It's an Eminem song, right?
So here's the problem. I just made a reference. Steve was kind of talking about his memory. I called him Rain Man. Steve thought it was, what'd you say, Rain Man, like your jump shot, right?
Yeah. Let it rain. Along came Polly. Let it rain. Rain Man.
Brian, wait a minute. Right now, we need this. We need this moment, people. This is important. Brian, when I say Rain Man, what do you think?
The movie? I'm thinking Rain Man.
Right.
What my first thought? I don't know. I don't know what I think of when I think. I mean, I think of a guy who can make it rain. You know, whether it be money, whether it be making threes, something.
But
he can make it rain.
But you said the movie first.
Yeah.
That's what I did. Steve started talking about basketball or making it rain, like doing the make it rain gesture, of course. Right?
Rain Man, yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
80.
Sean Kemp.
Texter says Sean Kemp.
There you go.
We're having a problem here. This is a big problem. 8150-939 is the number. I need help, people. 3831-939 is the text line. Oh, man. There's no way I could ask Dr. Ebert. Brian, if Dr. Ebert walks past that door, you snatch him in there, right? You please snatch him in there.
And we're going to ask him about Rain Man?
And just ask him. Get him on that microphone and ask him what's the first thing he thinks of when you say Rain Man. Now, he's going to be coming back down that hallway.
Really the first thing you say, everybody refers to Rain Man as, the Dustin Hoffman and
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise Rain Man movie.
Right.
But then...
I don't think Sean Kemp.
No. I honestly didn't know that Rain Man was Sean Kemp's name.
You never knew that?
I didn't.
Did somebody just put on the text line, Kmart sucks?
I'm a big Sean Kemp fan, too.
You didn't know Sean Kemp was Rain Man?
I didn't know the Rain Man.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I remember those days with Gary Payton and Detlef Schrempf.
Jeb Whiting on Derby Day. That's awesome. Some of these people know me, man. Right? People, doctor, I need your help. Please, 1 second. See, Brian, you dropped the ball. Ask him this question right now.
I don't know.
Listen, Doc, we're having a crisis moment here.
Okay.
I say, Steve talks about his memory, and I insert a joke. I say, what are you, Rain Man, right? Mm-hmm. And he is talking about music, and he's talking about making it rain, and I'm like, no. What's the first? What's
Rain
the?
Man, he had what did he have? He had because he remember everything.
Come on, doctor. What's
it called? That's what you're.
Yes, I asked for a doctor. I need a doctor here.
Oh man.
Come on, give it to me.
No,
please.
I ain't no doctor.
No. No, I tried, but you get the point. I think of Tom Cruise, Dustin Hoffman, 30 Minutes to Wapner.
Yes.
What does he have?
That's fair. I have no idea.
Hold on a second.
Oh no, Google. There is no Google. No.
He's gonna find out.
That's gonna eat him alive.
Yep.
Point being autism. Is it autism? Did he have? Yeah, his memory was incredible. He's out here hunting for the answer now. I totally lost my train of thought, but it was funny, that we all thought.
So somebody's going to call in and get this. It's a form of autism, but I can't think what it is.
Some of the text line did say autism. They're probably mad at us that we couldn't think of it at the time.
No, but it's a specific on the spectrum of autism. But I can't think what it is. Sorry, man.
But you did think of the movie immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I thought we were having a generational quarrel here. I'm just like, maybe am I out of touch? By saying Rain Man.
No.
Okay.
Everybody knows what Rain Man is. Come on.
I don't know. I think of Along Came Polly.
Savant syndrome.
Yes,
Asperger's.
That's it. Asperger's is what I was thinking. But Savant,
yeah, right.
That's what you're looking for.
That's it.
Appreciate. Sorry to bother you.
No. Hey, just because I work at a university doesn't mean I'm smart.
Marvin Mitchell just came onto your show.
He did.
We'll plug that really quick. It was great to see him again.
Marvin Mitchell is associate athletic director, and he's in charge of the academic programs over the student athletes. And he was basically bragging about the successes that all of our student athletes at U of L have off the field.
Right.
And it's going to come out a little bit later today, the graduation success rate. And you're going to see that the graduation success rate is going to be very high.
Right.
For U of L student athletes, those that have.
I was his original success story. I was one of the founding fathers of the the degree completion program. I have made it because of him.
He bragged on you. He honestly did. He mentioned you without prompting, and he said he thought you were more popular now than you were when you were on the court because you had that college degree.
Take credit. Please take credit. Right. I've always said I could be the spokesman of the degree completion program, and boy, did he have to work hard to get me through.
Yeah. But I think it is an untold story of the student athletes at the University of Louisville. We all focus on what's going on the field and on the court, but we don't focus on and we don't hear the stories about these student athletes who are getting 3.8 GPAs while they're practicing every day.
Yes.
They're running all around the country. Playing games, and so I think it's a pretty cool thing to have at your university that there's a focus on that academics at the University of Louisville, and so we want to talk about our successes. So anyways, that program airs on 93.9 every Monday and Tuesday night. U of L Today with Mark Hebert, 6 o'clock, and the Marvin segment will be on Tuesday night at 6.
Got it.
Very cool.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the plug.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Again, people, don't let what he just said go by unnoticed.
No, I agree.
I actually got my degree through, like I said, the beginning stages of the degree completion program. DeJuan Wheat, Tony Williams, like most of the guys. I hate that I'm leaving out people. I believe Tick Rogers. A lot of guys actually, were really pushed to complete their degrees, which is awesome. Really good feeling. Getting back to more current events.
Yeah.
That Southern team has a very low, what is it, Sagarin rating?
Yes.
People are making jokes about that. Could you justify that, Steve?
Well, they've played Baylor and Alabama so far. I mean, yeah. I mean, they're a less talented team that's played.
Yeah, but they played Baylor 2 weeks ago and Alabama 2 weeks ago.
They played like 2 days ago.
Wait a minute, what?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to. Here's my point. I'm not even trying to argue that's anything about Southern at all. I'm just saying you have enough games on the schedule that Southern is very irrelevant down the list of reasons why Louisville may have an issue in seeding or tournament or anything you would want to look at. I mean, come on.
What were you most impressed with coming out of the game? Brian Hall, actually, you haven't chimed in much on this one. Brian Hall, give me your impressions of the team from last night, just to get an outside perspective.
Anytime you get a 50-point win, it's a good win. But I was real impressed with Malik Williams. I think when I first,
is that what you felt good about last night?
I'm gonna go with the go-to, but I mean, it sounds cliche because he had 17 points and 5 rebounds, but he came in as a 5-star prospect, and we didn't see a whole lot out of him last year.
We saw nothing,
and we really thought that he could be a breakout candidate this year. And to me, it seems like he's really buying into the Chris Mack system, and you can see the improvement. And we need that extra big man running the 4-out, 1-in, and Enoch looked impressive, obviously.
Go to the drop box and get Malik Williams post game. I want people to hear what he had to say. I want you to hear, because here's the thing. Steve gave him the player of the game last night.
Yes.
I believe so.
Yep, absolutely.
Because of his potential or his value in that game?
His value. I mean, he well, here's the thing. You remember the story I was telling about the betting on Oklahoma and UT San Antonio and all that? The one thing that Oklahoma did in that game, watching that, was their big man, McNeese, planted himself in the middle, demanded the ball, and went to work because you can't guard me. I thought Malik last night was a kid who last year was trailing plays to get a 3.
Yeah, purposely avoiding the paint to get a 3.
I thought he planted himself in the paint last night, worked that seal move all night. You can tell that Pegues
footwork
is working that seal move.
Pivot.
You get him, and then you get the seal off, turn, other hand.
Give the guard a target to pass
Keep
to.
the ball high. I mean, you could see. I could watch Malik Williams last night and say, okay, I know what they're doing in practice. And that's a testament to Malik because he was working down there, man. And I mean, and his numbers were good. What did he end up with?
17
and 8, something like that. I don't know. I mean, he had a good game. Because Enoch played well, too.
That's the point.
Yeah.
For Enoch to play as good as he has, you said he hasn't missed a free throw yet?
Well, I don't think so. I think he went 11-11 in game 1 and was 5 of 5 last night.
Another thing, people, if your team plays hard and can shoot free throws,
I'll have it in a second.
They're going to be absolutely in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last night, I talked about this, Steve, like one of my little personal inside jokes that I don't really talk to many people about, things that make me feel like if I was a gambler, if I was Vegas, this would be like a stat or something I notice that I would never tell a soul, right? Just one of those little secret things that would give me a betting advantage, right? A player who likes to get fouled is one of the most dangerous players on the planet because the way, you know who that is? James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
James Harden is a guy with some physical talent who loves to get fouled. In today's game, if there's no way you shouldn't, if with minimum athletic ability, you should be able to go to the line at least twice per every 3 to 4 minutes.
That's a stat that's being kept now on the box
yeah,
score.
Yeah, fouls drawn.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Malik led that category.
Think about this, people. This year, they started adding fouls drawn to the official stat sheet. I am telling you that if you go back and podcast me for as long as I've been on the air, I've said, you got to put him in the game. He likes to get fouled. When I was talking about Dwayne Sutton the first time I saw him, when I went to the highlights of him at UNC Asheville,
yeah,
I said, you're going to like Dwayne because he knows how to get fouled.
Yep.
We have not had players since championship caliber players who like to get fouled. It's fascinating. It's astonishing to me. You don't like points? I even yelled last night, teach your kids, people, to enjoy getting fouled, to enjoy getting your opponent off balance,
Yes.
to initiating the contact if your opponent is out of position. You should never be able to press a player with decent athleticism or decent ball handling. Ryan McMahon, the reason he can get away with running point guard, right, is because he knows how to get fouled. He knows that if you bump him, if you touch him the wrong way, if if you're a little too close when he's dribbling the ball, he's going to initiate contact and he's going to exaggerate a move.
There is one player on the team better.
Than Ryan McMahon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's why he's going to average 21 points a game.
Jordan.
Jordan Warren.
Yeah, Jordan's good at that.
He likes to draw contact. He likes to get fouled.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, once it's what frustrates you about VJ. Son, you are strong enough to withstand contact.
Right.
It's not going to kill you if you pump fake somebody in the air and if you jump into their body. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll have plenty of time. I made a joke. Don't you like being on TV? Don't you like when these ladies get to see your gorgeous face on TV for at least 35 seconds every game? That damn social media, Steve. These kids don't appreciate TV time anymore.
That is true.
Because they get more face time on social media than they do on CBS.
That's anywhere, man. I've had people write me or send me my mom or something. I always see you on TV. And I'm like, yeah, cool.
Right?
Neat.
Right.
Yeah. And so you imagine if you're a player like them, you're like, I could care less about you seeing me on TV.
I don't want to be on the gram.
Yeah. I can doctor my picture up on Instagram like way better than I will sweaty shooting a free throw.
On real live TV, right?
Listen, I do want to point this out real quick. Ty Each pointed this out on Twitter, and I thought it was a good point. And he even makes the point to say every game's different. So it's hard to play this game. Alabama beat Southern by 20. Baylor beat them by 27. Louisville floored this team. Now, 20 and 27 is, once you get up to about 25, I don't think there's a lot of difference in score at that point because I think teams have a tendency to quit. Like, for instance, when Duke got up 20, like 6 minutes into the game, I think it was very apparent at that point that they could win by however many they wanted to. And not against Army, because Army was within 6 with about 6 minutes left. So I'm talking about their first game. But I mean, the point is, last night Louisville did exactly what they should do to an inferior team.
And I'm okay with that. Steve, one of our favorite callers is on the Scoring Collision Center hotline. Seattle Paul, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, what's going on? Hey, I'm not going to derail the show like Ronnie does, but I will bring up something about, you're talking about Louisville beasts right now, and because I'm on the West Coast, I get to see this beast in action a lot. Guess who I'm talking about?
Jordan Warren.
No, Montrezl Harrell.
Oh.
The dude is probably the best sixth man in the league right now. He's averaging like 21 points a game his last 2 games. Beat the hell out of the Warriors. They could not stop him. He is beasting right now. Get that guy paid. Get him paid.
Paul,
$6 million a year is not good enough.
Paul, I'm gonna let you behind the curtain. As we're in our last 3 minutes of preparation for the show, my man Steve Rummage went on a speech, on a victory speech, on a what's the movie? Tom Cruise and one of those speeches,
Jerry Maguire.
A heavy speech about how we have to get Montrezl Harrell back in the circle. right?
We got to get him back in Kentucky. He is just beasting it for Louisville right now.
No, that's an absolute fact. I appreciate the call. And listen, and you're right. We actually talked about that.
Yeah. I mean, Stephen A. talking said, Montrezl Harrell's the closest thing we're seeing in the NBA to Dennis Rodman. Look, I'll sit on this soapbox alone. I don't care. That's fine. I ask Vince Tyree and the U of L athletic administration, you need to get Montrezl Harrell back involved with this university.
League's ready.
Montrezl Harrell didn't talk to the NCAA in the middle of trying to get a new contract.
Right.
Montrezl Harrell
is that so wrong?
Montrezl Harrell still comes back to Louisville in the offseason. Montrezl Harrell, you will see him this year. I saw him last year, and you'll see him this year. U of L does not give him tickets because he's banned. He'll get a ticket
and
he'll sit in the stands
up in 140,
and he'll watch this basketball team play and be around these guys. I really, really think, and this isn't just I'm throwing it out there.
It's not because he's balling.
No, I mean, it's not. But, I mean, I really think that something needs to be done to get Montrezl Harrell back involved with the university. I do. I'm sorry. The Katina Powell thing's over. It's done and over with. He didn't talk to the NCAA. It is what it is. You got to get him back involved, man. And the reason I say that is because he wants to be around the university. That's why I'm not imploring for necessarily anyone else. He wants to be. He was hurt.
He was hurt.
He was hurt. Look, we talked to these guys. We know this. He was hurt by what happened. When he went up and scanned his hand and didn't get in,
he was hurt.
He was crushed.
And he did not talk to the NCAA to hurt the university.
No, absolutely not. I think he didn't talk to the NCAA to help the university.
The same way Russ just like, dude, I'm not, I'm trying to get into the league.
I just think we really need to relook at Montrezl Harrell.
Todd, thanks for joining us on 93.9, my man. Fire away.
Marcus, Steve, good to talk to you this morning.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
First of all, let me say I agree 1,000% with what you just said about Trez. That young man, if it's not for him, we're not winning the Big East championship. If it's not for him, we're not going and winning the national championship. Let me tell you something. That man right there has a heart that's as big as the state of Kentucky. And, he didn't do anything wrong, as far as I'm concerned, enough to bar him from being around the Cardinals. So, we need to take care of that ASAP, number one. Number two, what could you learn last night from that basketball game? I mean, I watched it painfully. I watched it. And at one point, the commentators said that there was a foul called every 32.6 seconds. Remember when we played Kentucky and that second 10-minute span where you couldn't breathe on them without them calling a foul?
We do.
Okay, well, it was that way last night. 64 total fouls, 22 offensive fouls. And I'm sitting there, so are these young men going to even be allowed to play this game, without these referees coming over? They went 2 possessions where they didn't call anything, and then the very next thing you get 2 technicals and a regular foul. And I'm sitting there, how do you learn about your team? How do you get to find out about your team, even though I love Jordan's dunks and things like that. But, I mean, to me it was crazy. I mean, I hope we never have that crew again.
Listen, I appreciate the call. Listen, there was a little bit of discussion about some unprofessionalism as they were leaving the court.
Yeah, there was. I mean, I believe it was Jody Demling tweeted out that after the game, I guess the referees had made a kind of a comment like, "Yeah, I'm sorry you had to call that game," insinuating that it was basically a crap game.
Right. You made it a crap game.
Yeah, I mean that's something I mean, and we talked this morning to other people who official or are in officiating that said that's really kind of against policy. Like you don't do that. So yeah, I didn't. And Chris Mack made comments in the huddle that I was able to kind of pick up on early that I think he realized quick. This crew's not good. Yeah.
Quick commercial break. We'll close it strong. Midday with Marcus Maven, 8150. 93.9 is the number on 93.9 The Ville.
Hi, this is Hannah Gist with
You're listening to Middays with Marcus Maben, broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services studio on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. It's midday. I didn't know that breakdown was coming. Okay. Welcome back. It's midday with Marcus Maben, 8150. 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. People, here's the problem. Let's take a second, take a deep breath. We got out some of our, our agitated emotions. We got a little of our excitement. I got to tell you this little story from what happened in the break. So I come around the corner, and Brian Hall says, "You okay, buddy?" Right? And we're around each other all week long, right? Like, we're around each other all the time. Brian says, "You okay, buddy?" So I immediately know there's a reason he asked me, "Am I okay?" Now, people, I don't really like to do this, but I want to tell Brian in front of the world that he was right on point with that one.
I know you, Marcus.
Brian,
I've seen you a lot.
Brian sees that today I may not be, let's just say I may look a little paler than normal for some reason. So here's the thing, people. When I tell you I stayed at the Galt House last night, I stayed at Al J's last night, and I slept in the Galt House last night. You know what that means? When you have a staff, listen, everybody knows the value of good service, of a good staff, right? If you own a business, a company, and you have employees, I have a little suggestion for you. Go send your employees to be trained at the Galt House. They are... Steve, I got Steve's attention with that one.
Yeah, they're good.
They have the nicest, friendliest, beautiful people on the planet. They treat you so well. So much so that when it was time to leave, and I knew it was time to leave, I was enjoying myself a little too much. And Brian, have you ever been somewhere enjoying yourself too much and stay longer than you should?
Just about every weekend.
People,
if we're being honest.
People.
I have a good time everywhere I go.
People came by to have conversations with me in my most candid. If I tell you that you should stop by and hang out with us at Al J's, trust me, it'll be worth your time and worth your money. Brian, I closed the place down.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I've been up to Al J's, and it is a super nice place.
It is.
It is a hard place to leave.
Listen, it's so nice that you can go there and have a drink by yourself and just stare in the bar and stare at the fish.
Well, let me tell you, if I would have known how cold the walk to my car was after the game, I would have stayed up at Al J's all night myself.
It was. Listen, downtown last night had a Chicago feel to it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when that wind starts whipping through those buildings.
Well, thank God we don't have to necessarily walk out.
It's cold enough in the garage.
It's cold enough in the garage.
Right. But
I even turned my seat warmer on.
You never do that.
Didn't last very long. I didn't make it to the interstate. I was like, dude, my butt is on fire.
Oh, my God. I know. These cars are well designed.
Yeah.
The Toyota / Lexus seat warmer models / whatever you have that has a seat warmer.
Yeah.
These things are well designed. Point being, Brian, you were on point with your observation of me. It was a late night.
It's all good.
It was a early, beautiful morning. Again, people, you forget how nice. You don't forget how nice the Galt House is.
It's unbelievable.
It is unreal,
Oh,
right?
I'm going to be a frequent stopper by Al J's for sure.
I see why Brian, but Never mind. So Brian, you were able to scramble and track down some of the sound from last night. Here's what I want you to do, people. Like, you can close your eyes, and I want you to listen to the tone. Imagine if you knew this person. Know Malik Williams' background story. You know he came here. No, he did not have the year he wanted to have last year. He thought he should be playing a lot more last year. I want you to listen to his energy from last night's interview. You can grab that phone, take it away.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's changing. Just something that he instilled in me. Just we don't got the same size that we had last year, so it's a role that I need to play and be aggressive with. So I'm trying to do my best with it.
Coach Mack talked on Monday about that he wants you to kind of play at your strengths. You know, a lot of people have looked at you as somebody that's gonna get that backup role, playing down low at the center. You know, how do you feel like you're coming along at that position? Is my first question, and the other question would be, what do you think your strengths are down low?
I feel like I'm coming along real well. It's been a long time coming for me to finally get aggressive down there and make some good moves. So it feels good down there. I feel like I'm doing a good job with it so far. Just got to stay aggressive, stay smart, stay patient. And then, like I said, I feel like I'm doing good. Just got to keep on going every day and practice, continuing to get better.
How much has Mike Pegues been a part of making you better at that position?
It's really been everything. He knows the game well down there, so he knows what I need to do, and he tells me everything that I need to do. When I'm doing it wrong, he corrects me. And when I'm doing it right, he encourages me to keep on doing it right, so he's been a huge role.
What is your relationship with Steve like? Because I know you guys are both kind of learning this new system, but, you know, he has a little bit more experience just kind of being a true center. How have you guys helped each other?
It's huge. Me and Steve got a real good relationship. It's actually my roommate. And, just every day in practice, we're hardly on the same team, so it's just battling. Him getting aggressive, me getting aggressive, and a little bit of smack talk here and there, but it's always good at the end of the day. But it's just going at each other every day, making good, hard moves, and playing good defense.
Is he a good roommate?
Yeah, he's a real good roommate. We keep our little same part, the part that we share, clean. I like him, except for when he blasting his music.
You will go after each other in practice, but
Mike, please.
Go after each other in practice and then get back to the room. Are there ever any times where you don't talk for a little while, or how's that handled?
Never. By the time we hit the locker room, we're back good. We talk to each other about what's going on, and we'll be good.
Like a long time between Okoye's last game as a Louisville Cardinal and this one. Just talk about what he's brought to you guys and how he's
20.
You know, he's been through a lot of the battles. How can he help you guys out? How has he helped you?
Corey brings a lot to the table. Starting off with a loud voice. He's a very experienced guy, so he knows what he's doing out there. He came out there and he gave his all tonight, crashing offensive glass and just doing what he needs to do, doing what a vet would do.
Did you hear that energy? Did he sound like a happier human being? And that just wasn't, I got some playing time against Southern. That was, what did he say early? It's been a long time coming. Dude, you're a sophomore. Right? You're a sophomore, and you're like, I am behind the clock. I should have been out here, I should be second year or damn near in the league.
When he recognizes it, too, which is half the battle.
Long time coming. Pegues is everything. He knows everything about what he's doing. He corrects me on everything I'm doing wrong. That sounds like a guy who's listening to a coach.
Yeah.
If you got a guy, what is he, DMV area guy, Pegues, right, is recruiting. If you bring in recruiting and you got the trust of your players like that.
Yeah. People, no, that's big. That's big time, man.
The momentum is, like I said.
And it's coming through because you see what Pegues is saying. You see the player taking it, and you see the player transferring it to the court, which means I respect you. I'm listening to you enough to.
I will do what you say.
I'm going to set my butt right here in this paint against this Southern team.
And again, I don't want to say, like, I'm comfortable saying you're going to get that tail smacked on some of these games. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get whooped, right?
Yeah.
You're going to go out here and get whooped sometime because they need film to teach you stuff.
Yeah.
I need you to do it your way. I need to tell you to do it this way, and I need you to refuse to do it my way and do it your way so I can point to you and say, hey, now if you had done it my way in this possession right here, this would be a point for you. This will be another 3 minutes for you. You did it your way. You blew it.
Yeah.
Now, sit down on the bench. Darius, come in.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
Right? Jeff, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Hey, how's it going, Steve and Marcus?
Good, man.
Hey, last night I was listening to your show after the ball game, and a guy brought up Steve being an idiot because of what you said about the fouls or whatever.
Yeah.
And that guy was an idiot if he didn't understand what you were talking about. There's a difference between getting 40-something free throws and winning by 50 points than getting 47 free throws and the other team only shooting 12 and you win by 3 or 4.
Yeah, that was kind of. I'm glad at least that did come across because it's a little bit different scenario. I mean, how many times have you sat in the Yum Center, Jeff, watched a close game, and felt like, man, they gave it to Louisville down the stretch?
Never.
Yeah, right. Right.
Never. But if you're in Rupp Arena, you feel like Kentucky gets all the calls and gets favorable calls or even questionable calls. While at the Yum Center with Louisville gets called the other way.
Wait a minute. Let's be fair really quick. Do you think Kentucky fans ever feel like the referees bailed them out?
No, definitely not.
No.
They look through with blue-colored glasses on. That's all they look the whole time. And they're sitting there. They're shooting 50 free throws. The other team's shooting 12, and they're just clapping their hands and cheering like we're the best team. And you're like, man, they're giving the game to you, man. Can't you see that? That's what's crazy. But also, there's a couple other things I just want to say. It's nice to have a team that can hit free throws. Usually Louisville goes to the free throw line, and I'm cringing. I'm like, oh, no. You know, we're going to the free throw line. Now you're, like, looking forward to the guy going to the line because we can hit our free throws. Especially our big men. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. And then the other thing I want to ask you all was the signing date, I think, is today. Is that not right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And do y'all know if anybody has signed? The letters come in. And did y'all hear about Aiden might wait until the spring because he wants his mother to be here? And what do y'all think about that? Because it's kind of scary because you know other people's going to be in his ear. Is he trying to wait and find out what's going on with Louisville before he signs? And just y'all's opinion on all that. And thanks a lot, guys.
Oh, Jeff, I appreciate that call.
Well, to answer his last question first, they've already received Josh Nickelberry's letter. They've already received Samuel Williamson's letter. David Johnson's going to have a ceremony here in a couple hours. Quinn Selinsky is going to have a ceremony on Friday. Mm-hmm. I haven't heard about Jalen Withers yet, but I'm assuming that's going to come in the next 2 days.
Right.
They do ceremonies this week. Aiden.
Young punks. What happened today is just doing it in your living room in the local paper, just come and take a picture.
I know. Aiden said he wants his mom to be there in person to kind of, she's in Ireland, to kind of have a family-wide ceremony.
Right.
It probably will be in the spring, I would imagine. Here's my thing with that. I'm really comfortable with it because on his social media, I mean, he seems all in.
He's a hashtag my big homie. Everything's hashtag my dogs, my Louisville dogs. They feel like they're already on the team.
Right.
They treat their social media accounts like the football team, let's fight through it, fellas.
And he seems like visits are the only thing that would sway him, and he's not taking any more of those. Here's the other thing. There's history here with him and him and his mom being tight.
Right.
So they're sitting like just
excuse, yeah.
Dude, you ain't never first time I even heard you. I mean, what's up with your mom? Like this, there's history there. But I will say I'm okay with it if you're like, no, man.
You're okay with anybody being uncomfortable?
Yeah. But I don't think there's anything to worry about there.
Had a quick question from a caller.
Yeah.
Y'all were talking about video from the practice yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where they can find that? I have a caller that was looking up.
I go to Jody Demling's Twitter feed.
Jody Demling's Twitter.
It's on 247 Inside the Ville.
Okay.
Cardinal Authority.
Okay.
Cardinal Authority.
Any more commercials, Steve?
Oh,
I mean, I subscribe there.
It's fine.
And you should too. $10 a month. Get all the info you need.
Yeah. All right, yeah, because they were just wondering they couldn't.
You're welcome.
You're right. Checks in the mail.
I did notice Jody's got a little nicer. I'm like, I mean, not that he was ever really mean to me, but just that he says hi a little more now. I'm like, dang right, man.
Yeah, familiarity will do that.
I promote your stuff, man. Hey, it's good.
Right.
It's good.
And listen, he knows we're not coming for his job.
And there's good posters on there, man. I think a lot of people on there, man, know what they're talking about. It's a good board, man. It ain't like, I mean, there's some schools have boards where it's just anybody on there and they're just like,
spouting off.
Yeah. It's kids suck.
You said what?
Kids suck, school sucks, football sucks. I hate
it. Are you mocking? Which caller was worse, my caller or your caller?
When?
Yesterday. My caller yesterday that says Louisville's just a bleepity program.
Oh, that was awesome. I don't know, man.
Or yours got under your skin a little more.
No, I don't think mine. I don't think either one of them really got under our skin as much. Mine scared me. It's like, dude,
what's your problem,
dude? If you're up at 11 o'clock at night listening to this post game show and sending me a Facebook message at almost midnight, dude, you don't have a lot going on, and I just don't have time for that.
See, and it's like, I mean, Steve, welcome.
Like, I got a lot going on in my life.
Welcome, Steve. Welcome to the world.
At midnight, you were like, I'm going to rummage right here. Hey, Facebook Messenger, let me find this dude. Message. You suck.
Dude, those people have been running up on me in Walmart since
you just catch Louisville's butt all the time,
since I can remember.
Yeah. God, dude, go to bed, man.
I know you read that.
I mean, he's the one who took it.
Point being, people, it was an awesome game in my opinion, but I'm very, very, very worried about Vermont. I am worried about the psyche headed into Vermont. I am definitely pumped about the game headed into Vermont. I mean, I want to see these guys get tested. I would like to see a good performance, but back to work, back to the grind. Brian Hall, you did a great job tracking down that sound today. Steve, you did a great job yesterday on the post game. I think people were really excited. It seemed like our listenership is growing by the day. People, let me just say this at the end of the show. It's discouraging when people say, y'all have a radio show? Are y'all on, you do this a lot? That means you haven't been doing your job. Steve and I show up to give you this reel on a daily basis, right? We need you to pass that message along anytime you can. Pass along the message 93.9. Pass along the message ESPNLouisville.com. Like that really, really helps us. I mean, you tell 2 people and that turns into 20 people. We have to stay on air. We have to keep these good ratings up. We have to keep spreading the message. Or one day they'll just snatch us off the radio. Nobody will know why.
It's very possible.
Because you didn't tell somebody about how much you enjoy listening to us. Do your job. Don't be a hater. So people, Bill at Scorns & Sons Collision Center. We appreciate everything you do. Globe Auto, 5705 Bardstown Road. Listen, if you've purchased a car, if you've been by just to check out what they got, if you've had that awesome service, do yourself a favor, leave them a good review. Those things are important. Leave us a good review. Leave Globe Auto a good review. Leave Bill at Scorns & Sons Collision Center a great review. Leave Windows Plus a great review. Don't just tell me you enjoyed the service at Globe Auto, Windows Plus, or at Scorns Collision Center. Leave a good review. Let the world know about your great service. Joe Blessinger, Becky Blamo, you are absolutely awesome. Let's all keep it up. Keep the machine going. See you tomorrow, 10 to 12. As always, 8150-939 is the number. 3831-939 is always a text line. YouTube, we are Made for the Bills, the channel on 939.